Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. Hey, there's my guy. Here he is. University of Alabama alum, 2005 MVP, 2005 Offensive Player of the Year, 3-time Pro Bowler, All-Pro. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, one of the best running backs in the game.
Yeah.
Alabama, he's extremely happy because his Crimson Tide beat the Bulldogs between the hedges. My guy, Shaun Alexander. What up, bro?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Man, I'm shocked. We had this conversation. We texted back and forth. You say, hey, hit me at halftime of the game. I hit you at halftime of the game. I say, I already know you in the bed. I'll talk to you next week, bro. So talk to me about the game on Saturday. What did you like about Alabama? Because they go to Florida State and they didn't look good. They had some cream puffs, but this was really their first test after that loss against Florida State. What did you like about what you saw from your team?
You know, at the end of the day, there is so much pressure to be great when you go to Alabama that you knew somebody was going to rise, And so I love Ty Simpson. We got our boy Miller, the running back. There's always a great Bama running back there. So he came back this week. And so I just like that they, in the trenches, was just getting after it. You know what I mean? Like big boys making play. That's Bama tradition. Like you ain't gonna go find a D tackle that ain't angry. You ain't gonna find a defensive end that ain't gonna try to bust you in the mouth. You ain't gonna find some lineman trying to pancake every play. Like you saw the boys put in work, and that gets all the old head running backs hype. You know what I mean? Because you just you love it, and Georgia came. Kirby comes from Bama. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So went to school with Georgia. Came, he saw what that is, and so he's just trying to produce that we've been doing for 1,000 years. You know what I'm saying? So it was awesome.
Yeah. When you look at today's game. It's like you won the MVP, TD won the MVP, LaDainian won the MVP. The last running back to win the MVP was Adrian Peterson, and I think that was 2012. So it's been 13 years, and it doesn't look like we're going to have an MVP running back this season. Do you believe, Shaun, we'll ever see another running back win the MVP?
To win one, you got to have all them touchdowns. You know what I mean? So it's got to take touchdowns and the yards and in an amazing record. So when both LaDainian and I won it, we had, I had 28. I think LaDainian came the next year with 30, and we had great records. We was 13-3 and had 1,800 yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it takes all three of those things for a running back to get it. And and almost where you overshadow the quarterback. Because if the quarterback does anything with a 13-3 record, he almost gets the credit. And so that's what it takes nowadays. It takes yards, touchdowns, and a great record.
And that's the thing, Ocho, before you go, is that what you mentioned, because now with this pass happy league in the 17th game, you're going to have a guy throw for 5,050 touchdowns. So even if a running back does have 25 touchdowns, you're like, damn, that quarterback, he did throw for 50 touchdowns though, and he got 5,000 yards. So it's going to be Saquon would have needed to break Ed's record and then have about 24, 25 touchdowns. Yeah. And then I think then, Shaun, he would have had a realistic chance of winning the MVP. Other than that, now I think they're going to be content to give the running back Offensive Player of the Year, but give that award to a quarterback. Go ahead, Ocho.
It looks down.
Yeah. Hey, Shaun, I know the NFL now is in the pass happy league. Obviously, we had some great backs during our time when we played. But who are, let's say, 1, 2, maybe 3 backs you enjoy watching today that you like to look at and you enjoy their running styles and the way they play?
Of course, Saquon is getting it done, and even his last year was phenomenal. But you could see it happening. Y'all know I'm still Bama through and through. I try not to be biased about it, but man, I remember when he was in high school. I came in and I said, and Nick said, hey, go check out this young kid that's coming in. He was in high school, bigger than all of us, fast, hungry. I said, oh dang,
Henry.
Yeah, Derrick Henry, man. And I still love Josh Jacobs, man. I think like he is just one of those guys that's like gonna always be like, and Josh Jacobs, he gonna always seem like he the 4th, 5th, 6th best back, but he gets it done, man.
But you know what, Gibbs, Gibbs, Jameer Gibbs, and you got Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor, he runs like an old school power back. Hey, you remember, Shaun, when you was in the league, hey, a fullback, Sean dot the I, LT dot the I, Jamal Lewis dot the I, those guys dotted the I. Now they do a lot more offset and things like that. Lamar, Baltimore has gotten back to that because they realize Derrick Henry runs better out of the I than in the offset.
Yeah, downhill.
Yes.
If Derrick coming downhill, it's the wears up the defense. You know what I mean? And then you got all the receivers going to be wide open. You ain't never going to see like a two safety, but not with Derrick Henry, And so we used to love that, Chad, I was just thinking, when I left Seattle, I almost got to come to Cincinnati to play with you and TJ. And
what happened?
The Redskins came in and I ended up going there, but I felt y'all was leaning towards Cedric Benson, but it was going to be me, you, and
yes.
TJ.
Said he did come. You should have came with us, but we could have got us a nice little ring, man.
Oh, for sure. You already know. You already know. And Mark had a defense popping. I said, "Oh man, I'm gonna be there."
They wasn't popping though, Shaun. You did the right thing. Go ahead and take the money, Shaun. You gonna get beat up for nothing. Shaun, you're one of 10 players in NFL history to have 100 rushing touchdowns. 7 are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The 3 that are not, Adrian Peterson, we know he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Right. Derrick Henry and yourself. With that being said, the others that are retired and have those numbers are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Do you believe, based on your resume, based on what you've done, an MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, a multiple-time Pro Bowler, an All-Pro, 100-plus touchdowns, do you believe your resume warrants you getting a gold jacket?
Oh, I think so. I try to keep it as humble as possible, but I think that be able to wear the gold jacket, you got to go in and set your team on fire. Y'all know no one going to Seattle before I got supposed to go out there, eat some shrimp, and then get a win and get out of there. And by the time we left, you had to fight for your life to even win a game in Seattle. I think we went 2-3 years winning every game in Seattle. The 100 touchdowns, the touchdown record, the 1,800 yards, and back-to-back 20 touchdown seasons. All those things, I did. I think it was like 90 something touchdowns in like 6 years, 5 or 6 years, It was so like gaudy and fast. This is all before, and folks wouldn't even, there was no like national TV. Like folks couldn't watch all the games like they got now, I would go into stadiums and, they announced the start and the tailback, Shaun Alexander, and people start cheering. And I leaned over to Max Strong, my fullback, said, "Hey, why are they cheering for me?" They said, "There's this thing called fantasy football." No, you don't even play.
But you the fantasy king.
Money. I was like, "Oh, okay, all right."
You and LT. So obviously you're up on your of the 128 guys. You're now you made the original list. So I don't know if you've made it down to the final. So have you made it to the final 25 yet?
I think I made it to the 50 last year.
Okay.
Is that how it is? It goes to 120 to 50?
Yeah, it goes 50, then it goes 25, and then they whittle it down to 10. And now they take a max of 5.
Okay.
They take a max of 5. So I don't know who your presenter is. I don't know who that would be your presenter up in Seattle. I don't really know. So have you gotten any feedback? So what if some of the reporters, have you talked to the guy that cover you, that would be your presenter, that would go up and make the case for you? Have you talked to him? What if some of the reporters, some of the voters, what have they said?
Yeah, Mike Sando was there. He was the young guy when I was there coming in, and so he's the guy that does all the reporting now. And he's always said, like, "Man, I think you're going to get in." He goes, "It's just time." Like, I don't know how all the work with the log jams, and I got to play. My big brother was Ricky Waters. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so like Ricky like loved me in. Like, he showed me all the high flashing of him and fit with the Niners and Philly. He got to me. I said, "I don't know that guy. That guy, I got a humble big brother that taught me all the game." And so you got him, you got Fred Taylor. Those guys are great. They've done their thing. but they ain't got 100 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's a lot because, like you said, there's only 10 players that have 100 rushing touchdowns. That's a lot of touchdowns. And your resume says, based on the criteria of the other guys that are in there. Now, I don't know. Obviously, I think Walter Payton. I think Walter is one of those guys. LT Emmett. Obviously, Emmett has 165 rushing touchdowns. I think LT has 145. Derrick Henry is way up there. I think Derrick Henry and
so there's
Adrian Peterson,
big boy from Redskins.
John Riggins.
And you got Well, what made me chase after that goal was Barry Sanders. He had 99. And that was I was going after, and Barry's always been like an Unc to me. You Unc, but Barry was always like an Unc to me, and he would come in and hug on me and be like, man, go get it, So it was really sweet when I got that. I had like one of them great moments, and being able to talk to him and be like, yo, I passed you. And he was like, that's well done. So, when you have Barry Sanders tell you well done, man, it's a sweat moment.
Barry's the only guy that I can honestly say, Barry don't care about no stats. Barry, it's like, Barry, hey man,
he's good.
He give you that smile and nod. Let me ask you this: give me your top 5 Alabama running backs. Now, Bobby Humphrey, Major Ogilvy, before your time, but you got you and you got Henry. Yeah. So give me your top 5.
Oh man, Wilbur Jackson.
Okay,
he 5. Gosh, these new boys, they were amazing, man. So I got Bobby Humphrey.
Okay, B Hump. I played with Hump in Denver.
That's 4. And so then I'm gonna go with, Bama's first Heisman is Mark Ingram.
Yep.
So he 3.
And
then gosh, I think Derrick Henry's number 1. So who would go behind him? I'm gonna go with I want to lean with Josh, but Damon Harris was solid. They had
remember Trent Richardson
was solid.
Yes,
they had some killers when Nick won them first ones, man. They were Eddie Lacy, all them boys was just phenomenal college running backs.
And Alvin Kamara transferred out.
Showed it because he couldn't get on the field. Think about that.
He rest his soul. Boy, they were loaded. They had TJ Yeldon.
Yep.
Bad day
against LSU.
Yeah, bad day. Y'all was loaded at tailback.
Tailback, man. Everybody was coming through.
I knew this because we had a conversation at the autograph signing in Virginia 2 years ago. And I was we met each other, say, hey man, what's going on? How the family doing? And I say, hey, bro, I know how the family. I know you got 4 or 5 kids. That's last I heard. You looked at me like, Shaun, I got 12. I said, hold on. Bro. I said, Shaun, for real? And at first I was like, from all the same. We've been married. I think you say high school sweethearts or something. You told what?
No, college? We met my first day in Seattle.
Oh Lord, have mercy!
My first day in Seattle,
2001.
Yeah, 2000. I got there. I got drafted in 2000.
Yeah, you got there 2000. You and Jamal was in that same draft class.
That's
Thomas
right.
Jones.
That's right.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So me and Jamal was there, and they remember. And everybody thought I was gonna go to New York because they picked Ron Dane to go to New York.
Yes.
And I told them. I said I was gonna take the Ravens to the Super Bowl. I was gonna take the Giants Super Bowl year 1. I knew they had that defense,
Yes.
And they picked Jamal and Ron Dane, and they both went to Super Bowl and played against each other. Man, I was hot. But I met my wife Valerie. That I got there, came in town. Kendrick Burton was a DN at Bama. And then went to Titans. Then got traded to the Seahawks. I get there, he throws a barbecue, and he brings his girlfriend over. It's like, man, I need you to meet my girl. I didn't do it, Ocho. I didn't do it. Don't think it wasn't her. She said, you need to meet my roommate. We've been together ever since.
Damn. So do you come from a big family?
Yeah, yeah. My dad and I, we close, but he'd be like, Sean, I'm so proud. You didn't do it like your dad did, you know. You know what I'm saying? Them natty boys, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
So my family is big. There's 9 of us, so it's 5 boys and 4 girls. You know, a couple different baby mamas, but now we now pregnant with number 14. You know, just my wife and I.
Did you always want a big family, or just like it kind of just happened?
I wanted like 5 or 6. You know what I mean?
But you've been long past 5 or 6, Sean.
Hey, you know what I mean? You know. Ocho, don't be smiling now. You know what I'm saying?
Listen. I like it. I have 8.
Yeah.
I have 8 and I want 2 more. I'm trying to go for twins. So listen, I'm enjoying the conversation. I like it. I didn't do things the traditional way in which you did.
Yeah.
But the way they do it, I make it work.
Hey,
I make it work.
everybody's got to win. Everybody's got to win at the end. And so, like, I found the right woman that wanted to have kids, that wanted to be faithful, that we was gonna just ride or die. You know what I mean? And so, and y'all know marriage is hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I say it like it ain't easy. You know what I mean? But we was like, man, like let's see how. And so it was actually her idea that said, like, yeah, well, what if God just said I could have as many as I wanted? And I was like, well, you know, let's do it. And
you're like, I'm down. Yeah, count your boy in.
Yeah, hey, I was in. I was in. Say less.
How old? So how old is the oldest, and how young is the youngest?
Okay, so the oldest is 22. She's a senior in college.
Okay,
and then the youngest is 2. So this would be the longest gap. So by the time this baby is born, the next one would be 3 years old. So 2.5 to 22.
Are you done?
Are you done? Yes. Are you done?
We never say like we're done. We just like, all right, like let it ride. You know what I mean? And so I thought we were done because we didn't have no more kids. You know,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Because it wasn't like you wasn't practicing. You just it just wasn't happening.
You know,
man,
whatever happened. You know,
you said the longest your wife has gone without pregnancy is this. So there's the largest gap is between the 2-year-old now and what this one will be, which will be a 3-year gap. That's the longest gap. So you go from 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 15.
Yeah. So they're about a year and 11, year and 10 months. It was 22, 20, 18. That's the oldest 3 girls.
Okay.
Then my son's 16, then 14. Those are my next 2 boys. And then we got a 13-year-old girl. So we had 3 and 3 years. So after 5, then we had 14, 13, and the 11-year-old turns 12 in October. And then there's Jetty. Jetty's 10. And then we had Tora. Tora's one we lost. She was 70 days old. So she would be about 8 right now. So that's a year and a half still. And then you got the bottom 5, you know. So that's Tora. Tora's 8. So it'd be Eternity is 7. Hosanna's 5. Hopi is 3. And Judea is 2.
That's dope.
No twins. They're all just all single births.
Single births.
That's dope.
This man here on one.
I love it.
It's live, ain't it?
Yeah,
if y'all came to our house, y'all wouldn't even recognize it. Y'all, because they all just flow. Like folks be like forgetting we got that many kids because everybody just kind of they all slide together. It's beautiful. It's a lot.
I want to know the grocery bill. Give me the grocery bill a week. How often do you go to Costco? I said every 3-4 days.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So we have a Costco run and then a local grocery store run and we have a Whole Foods run every week.
Okay, what do y'all drive? Do y'all drive like a yellow school bus, or you go? I'm just trying to figure out how you get all these kids around, because you like the oldest, so you got a 20 and a 22, and then you got like an 18-year-old. So if the 18-year-old graduates this year, or she just graduated?
She actually runs track at Liberty right now. So she was an All-American and that. So Chad, you know,
so you got 9 at home.
You had Lil that can run, right?
Yeah, she's at University of Kentucky. She's a sophomore.
Yeah. So mine's a freshman right now. So I remember us talking about your little one right there. So the girls drove everybody everywhere.
Oh,
They awesome. You know what I mean? But now they
right.
gone, and so now it's the boys, and man,
He got another year or two before he able to drive everybody.
yeah, so they boys. They about ball and going to hang with
Yeah.
I mean, they ain't as nurturing as all the girls are. So we got to get them right. But yeah, like so we have a Tahoe and a Suburban, and and then we have a 15 passenger van.
Oh,
And
that's
so that's how we work. Because the oldest ones and younger ones don't even want to ride together, so they all go
Ah!
different places. And so that's how it usually works.
I want to know vacation. How you get, because I remember saying, how you get, let's just say, because I know ain't no way all of y'all can go on vacation. So how do you go? Are you driving everywhere? Are you flying? How are you getting from point A to point B if you're going on vacation, Shaun?
So what usually happens is we get in that 15 passenger and we'll
Okay.
drive somewhere and we go and we'll stay for like a week or two. And so we'll hit the Outer Banks is a big beach in North Carolina, or we'll go down to Florida. So we'll take a bunch of stops. We'll go see my family in Kentucky. Uh, when we first retired, we bought one of them RVs, and that was
Yeah.
nice. Had a little driver come in, and it
yeah.
take us all around, and we stopped and everywhere, and that was sweet. But then as they got older, we turned it to the 15 passenger, and we drove it that way. So that's usually how we go. Like we'll plan somewhere, and we're gonna go somewhere, and we're gonna stop for 7 to 15 days.
But I'm just trying to figure out how you get all that luggage. You need something with a rack on the top. You need like a yellow school bus, like the Partridge Family. You remember the Partridge
For
Family?
sure, for sure.
How
Yeah,
they had
yeah.
all the instruments on top. That's what you need for luggage.
Yeah, our luggage game. My wife is like, she amazing how she do it. So the luggage game always got to be on. So we'll pack as much as we can. Sometimes we'll send stuff there wherever we're gonna go for a while. Them
Okay.
Airbnbs be wonderful for us because we just send stuff there, and then it's there when we get there.
Wow. Let me ask you a question, because a lot of times I have family members that had six kids. I think six is the most they had, and they dress alike. Do you dress the kids alike? The ones that's close in age, are they dressing alike, or everybody has their own individual style and their own individual look?
Now we put them in sex. So like the oldest three girls, they was all different, but they color codes would be nice. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yes.
The boys was always Bama, Seahawks. They was always like that. So they got their sport, and then
Okay.
it was the next middle girls, and they was all about them, a little funky compared to the older girls. The older girls was pretty problem. Mom had them dressed to the T. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The middle girls, they love funky divas. You know what I mean? They in Vogue type. You know what I mean? And so that's them. And then Jedediah, he's the third and youngest son, his own man. He walk in here. If he was up right now and I came right there, he'd be like, "You kind of big. You think you tough?" Like that's him. That's Jedediah. Hey, he walk in commanding the whole room. You know what I mean? And you took a picture with him, man. And I want to thank you still, man, because he don't let anybody know that they cool to him. And
All right.
so you did that to him. So I was like, man, I could tell you like Shannon. He was like, yeah, I like Unc right there. That guy. And then it's the baby girls, and they're just doll babies, man. They all, because now everybody's played sports.
Right.
Now they are more sporty than everybody else, and so it's pretty cool.
Have you been approached by reality about doing reality television?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you said no?
I did. I didn't know. Well, first I just kind of saw all the families that go through it. It seemed like they all got caught in the trying to perform, and I
Right.
didn't want to do that to my kids. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Okay.
so
I see. I see.
so I figured if I had the right kind of situation, then we would do it. And so like I've been asked because we started that high school, the homeschool co-op and football program, Harvest Covenant. This is the
Right.
first year, so I've been asked to do that, and I've been thinking about that because that's more about the sport, and then you just can't help but get my family all in it, but they're not
Right.
the focal point, and so I've thought about it. I've been asked to do docu-series about family and community, and they'd be like, Shaun, how you got these cats over here in your family, and y'all know,
Mhm.
and then you got the academic people, and then you made all this with these business partners and your world like it, and I was like, that's how I thought how I was taught heaven was gonna be like. That's how I was taught like it's got just this big, awesome that everybody can be themselves, but just be awesome at being themselves. And so that's our world. You know, we get to pull everybody in to go be great.
Well, I think it was the Duggars that had 19 and counting. I don't know if you're going to reach that number, but you're like 14 and counting.
Hey, Sean, what post career outside of football, kids, family, marriage, what other things do you enjoy? What are you passionate about? That you like to do outside the kids, where you can get away from and have somewhat of a woosah moment.
Yeah.
He can't.
It's Shannon's favorite hobby, but no. I,
There you
I
go.
I was always one of those people that like to inspire people to do
Yeah.
something great. And
Mhm.
so I've just tried to find the greatest partners that would motivate people to motivate people. So I got like this great partnership with this group called Staying Together. And it's
Yeah.
like about 800 of some of the most successful businessmen and women in the country. And they like put their money and their efforts together to go like inspire the world. So I like partnering with them. I've always been like mentor man. I've had great men around me my whole life, so I always thought I could give that back. So, uh, so I've always been a part of just pouring in. So there's a handful of dudes that's some in the league, some never played in the league that I'm just like big bro to them, and I've just watched them grow. And so you know, awesomely, I was the freshman player of the year. So if you the best player, you win the Heisman. If you the best freshman you in the country, you win the Shaun Alexander Award. And so so
Wow.
I have it's always been fun like meeting with the guys and remember Jaden Daniels when he was Trevor Lawrence was the first winner of when it was named after me and watching these dudes at 18, 19 years old and watching them grow to become young men and now Trevor's married with his first baby, and Drake May won it a couple years ago, and Caleb Downs, he won it as a freshman, and then goes from Bama to
Ohio
Ohio
State.
State, and I'm on the inside with all that, walking him through and talking to his parents and this and that, and making decisions. It's an awesome and pleasure, and it's an honor to be a part of helping mold the culture with football and seeing all the stuff do. So like those are all just part of that. And then when my son, we traveled so much, so we homeschooled from Seattle to DC to play with the Redskins, and so we just kept on homeschooling them, and it worked for the girls. But that's how we started Harvest Covenant homeschool and football program, because I needed a way to be able to let my boys play football and also still travel the way we do. And next thing you know, now I got about 30 young men all in the area. And some of these boys are D1. I'm over here, like my wife kept on saying, like, you trying to be little Dion. You trying to be little Dion, 'cause while I'm watching, I got some kids that could play. And then my boys they're talented. Chad, you need to come teach my oldest one to make sure he step on some toes. He's off to a good start as a sophomore. And
Gotcha. I got you.
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool watching it all.
Sean, Sean, you had the experience of playing in the Super Bowl. What was that moment like? Because as a kid, we grew up, we dreamed like seeing it on television, and I act like, man, is that a possibility? Now we go to college and we get an opportunity to go to the NFL, and then it happens, and you're like, man, everybody in Kentucky, everybody in Alabama is going to be watching a kid that grew up dreaming of this moment. Now this dream is a reality. What was that moment like for you?
It was sweet. I remember in sixth grade when the Bengals played, Boomer Esiason was the quarterback. The Icky Shuffle was live. You know what I mean? That's what everybody was doing.
1988.
Yeah, man. I was in sixth grade, and I just remember like watching the camera show them because that's when cable was starting to come in through. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I remember them busing to the airport to go fly to play in the Super Bowl, and I just thought, man, that'd be sweet if I did that. And so I was having all those moments in Seattle because out of all the places, Seattle was the farthest away from Cincinnati, but then
Yep.
also the farthest away football. Like they was not a good program. And they brought Mike Holmgren over there from Green Bay.
Yep.
And then he drafted me. And I was like, man, let's go do this. And so not being in the cup was the only thing that was not gonna happen. You know what I mean? I was like, we gonna get there. And so that whole experience was awesome. Just seeing the city turn from like fans was always rowdy, but to having this confident swag, we championship football, it was awesome because I got, my high school was ranked national. and then I go from there to Alabama, and then I got to Seattle. It was a shock to me to have guys not think they was going to not win every game. And so coming out of that to see what there is, and I don't remember when Pete Carroll gets there and Russell and Marshawn, and they all call me, hey, bro, this water over here warm. I'm like, yeah, y'all got one more step and y'all got it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it was cool, and just watching Richard and Wagner and all them boys just coming, that Legion of Boom, watching them win. I just felt like I was like the John the Baptist of that group. I got to go bring that thing right up to the table and
Right.
retire. You know what I mean? I wish I'd have got mine, but it was cool to see like Seattle still has that winning
Yeah.
culture, and I got to be a part of building that.
Man. Congratulations on everything, Shaun. We're going to wish you the best of luck. I definitely think with your numbers, you definitely warrant the consideration of getting into the Hall of Fame, because in your era when you played, you were one of the preeminent backs. And so I think it should be, they need to take a real hard look. You can't say, well, he wasn't. No, we talk about our era.
Yeah.
We're talking about the era in which I played, which was the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
You see the numbers that I put up, the touchdowns that I put up, the yards that I put up, and MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, and I helped lead a team to the Super Bowl. So I think y'all need to really look at Shaun Alexander and give it a hard look and say, you know what? Excuse me. This man is deserving of recognition.
Yeah. Thank you for that. No, I agree, man. Everybody puts their work in, and you don't want to make it, but I think as Terrell Davidson said to me, he's like, Shaun, you gotta let everybody know that means something to you, because it does. Like, you don't want to be like, oh, without this award I can't, but you definitely want to be a part of this
Yeah,
group. Like,
it's the final validation.
Yeah. You work hard, and when that thing's done, you want to look around and be like, oh yeah, no, we should be in this group, So yeah, no, thank you for that. I'm with you. You know what I mean? We put in the work, and it's been beautiful.
Well, congratulations on everything. Congratulations on number 14.
You can come babysit.
No.
I got you.
Hey, let me ask you this: have you got a name? You got a name. You and your wife have a name picked out. Valerie got a name picked out.
We don't even know if it's a boy or girl. We usually don't find out. So,
really?
She'll eventually just show up and be like, "Hey, I had to find out," and this. So yeah, so she'll crack before I will, and then
you
then
hoping for a boy?
Celebrate.
You hoping for a boy?
Yeah, man. Girls are some work now.
Yeah,
girls some work,
especially when they hit that age.
Man, it's
yeah.
I love them. They beautiful. They wonderful. But they some work.
They are some work. Congratulations on everything, man. Take care. Come back and stop by and see us again soon, Shaun.
Oh, we will, man. We will.
Appreciate you, bro. Roll Tide. Shaun Alexander, ladies and gentlemen, 2005 MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, 100-plus touchdowns, helped lead the Seahawks to their very first Super Bowl, an outstanding player, but he's a better man. And you listen to him talk, he's a man of faith. He's all about his family, loves his wife, devout in his faith. And he's, like I said, we know the type of player that he was, but he's a much better human being. Better human being.
I'm glad he came on here, because I'm finna be just like that. I'm finna follow in the footsteps of Shaun Alexander. I'm finna be a family man. I'm finna get married. I'm finna have more kids. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get all my kids now and take all those I have kids from to court, because I want full custody so I can have me 14 kids too.
Oh, you still got them?
Huh?
No,
you think I win?
No, you're going too much.